Today I'm answering an audience member's question, which is a fundamental, foundational, your funnel will not work without this one thing. What is the best way to get traffic? Hi, my name is Matt, founder of Autogrow.co, and in this video I'm answering the question, what is the best way to get traffic? Now, there are a lot of different ways that I could answer this question. So let me tell you my process and thought process for approaching the answer to this question. Because I could say one thing and it could be true, but it may not work for you. Hey, that rhymes. But here's how I approach it. I've grown our website, autogrow.co, with no advertising, from scratch, from zero, from 0 to 31,000 visits. We just crossed that this month. And in the last 6 weeks alone, we've really started to accelerate. In tomorrow's blog post, I'm actually going to be sharing with you the 3 lessons I've learned from growing to 30,000 visits per month. But to answer this question, I'm going to be drawing from my own experience based on what I know has been the deciding factors in us getting to this point and what I believe will continue to help us to grow and even accelerate to the next level. And I'm also going to try to balance that because I know that, and you should know that, the risk of taking advice from anyone at all is that it is self-reinforcing. So in other words, if you ask someone for advice on how to do something or even advice about life, that person is often going to give you advice based on their perspective or based on choices that they've made. Even if they're unhappy with those choices, they may still recommend that you take the same course of action, right? Because no one wants to be outdone. No one wants to realize or even face that maybe they were wrong, whether they could have made a better decision about anything, whether it's marketing or personal. So in this case, I'm not only going to be drawing from my own experience, but I'm going to balance it with what I've read has worked from other successful marketers out there. All right. And where appropriate, I will name case studies and name names. So let's get going. What is the best way to get traffic? Well, from my experience, starting at zero, literally zero, and bootstrapping this company to now where we're getting 31,000 visits, we built an email list with over 26,000 subscribers, and I can tell you for a fact that 12,000 of those we count as active subscribers. Okay, and that's most of that traffic we've built organically. In other words, I just started writing and I put out these in-depth, detailed guides answering a specific question and or targeting a specific keyword or keyword phrase. And sometimes accidentally I would find keyword phrases that would then later grow in popularity. For example, we wrote about how do you grow your Facebook likes organically from 0 to 100,000, and I featured a video case study with a friend of mine, which is also very popular on this channel, Lawrence Watkins. And I would also write other in-depth case studies with examples about sales funnels, for example, and we started to grow from that really quickly because there wasn't a lot of content out there about sales funnels. And it is that evergreen content for us where we would write about a topic and write about it really in depth, where people would, to the point where people often want to download the whole blog post as a guide and refer back to it later for a specific need that they might have in building and growing their own marketing funnel. So that is what has worked really well for us. Just rinse and repeat. Put out high quality content that will take us anywhere between 10 to 20 hours of labor to actually put together, edit, write, rewrite, and I have a team now at this point that helps me with the editing process for that. And then the promotion part of it, which has really just been, we've really only scratched the surface, I believe, on this, and we haven't been that successful. Where we'll just promote it on social media. We'll tweet it, we'll like it, we'll share it, we'll put it on Pinterest, We will post it now on our Instagram account, something new that we're just starting. And maybe we'd even tweet out about the same post a couple of times, to kind of drip out additional tips from it to get as much mileage from that blog post that we put so much time and effort into as possible. And then we would promote it to our email list as well. So we would send a newsletter saying, okay, here's the new post, here's what we're teaching, here's why it's valuable, you should click over and read it on our blog. If it's worth your time, here's what you're going to learn, ABC, right? And rinse and repeat. This is the process that has worked for us in a nutshell. We call it the Rocket Content Formula, and I actually go into great detail in it in our six-figure funnel course on our website. It's a premium course. But now let me kind of refer back to what I see working for us right now and what I believe is going to help us get to the next level based on what I've read from other marketers. Marketers like Brian Dean, like Neil Patel, like Derek Halpern. And based on what I've heard from them and what I've seen work as we've kind of incrementally improved our process, and that's how I kind of like to work personally. I like to kind of build the process and then make it better and better over time. And that is kind of reflected in our traffic. We never really went from like here to here instantly, but it's always been very steady, predictable growth, which, hey, if it gets results, right, just keep doing it. But now we're at a point where this year we're committed to our goal of 100,000 monthly visits. And it's scary just to say that to you because that just recommits me every time I say it to making sure that it happens. And what I've seen in how we grew by over 6,000 new visits just in the last, I believe, 5 weeks. So that's new traffic coming in now where we crossed the 31,000 visit mark. What has worked for us is actually putting out more content more frequently. So instead of publishing one time per week, one high quality article, we're still doing that, but we're also putting out these Matt Hack videos with an edited quality transcript with images and often related content upgrades and lead magnets so that people can download the resource related to it. And so we're putting out that 4 times a week on top of our once per week in-depth article and guide. So publishing more frequently seems to be helping. What else I think will help to propel us to the next level as we start to do it is actually getting our hands dirty and understanding how our brand fits in with the different social media channels that we've chosen to focus on, namely Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Now, in my Matt Hacks yesterday, I actually talked about and gave you a behind-the-scenes look at how our social media, just using some really very basic best practices where we're posting daily, for example, showing you that you shouldn't believe the hype from any of these case studies, and that if you only use the best practices, you should not expect to get stellar results, especially when you're just starting out. And how, like I'm saying right now, we're really just going to have to dig in and understand how do we get each of these channels to work? How do we get more engagement? How do we attract more followers, fans, likes, and shares? So I think that that's what's going to take us to the next level. And it doesn't, you have to kind of think outside the box too, because you have to, for example, we're going to reach out to people directly through email and ask them if they, for example, will be willing to share our content if we, mention or feature them, or if we're trying to promote a specific post that maybe is similar to another post that they've read and promoted in the future on one of their social media channels. And link building. That's another way that's another channel and process that we haven't developed or focused on really at all. So I think that is really what's going to help take us to the next level, continuing to publish frequently, but also just doing more and innovating more and just trying more things, both the best practices and trying to think outside the box in various ways as you'll see if you continue to follow along with these Matt Hacks videos and guides that we're putting out, where I share with you kind of in real time what we're learning. So I think that those are what's really going to take us to the next level, how we're going to hit that 100,000 visits per month mark. Because if we continue at the rate that we're at now, we would probably end the year around 60 or 70,000 visits per month. But obviously we're committed to that 100K goal. So those are my thoughts on what are the best ways to get traffic. Obviously you could pay for it with ads, but it's much more economical and sustainable, and you don't have to pay for every visit instead if you're actually building it organically like this. Long term, you want to be having traffic coming in from multiple sources. So if you have a big ad budget and you're willing to burn through some money in order to figure out, what you need to figure out in order to get ads to really work for you, right? Because you don't just want traffic that's just going to come to your website, you want traffic that's going to actually convert. So that's what's worked really well for me. That's what's worked for the other people I've cited who are seeing millions and millions of visits to their websites every single month. And if you have your own question, I look forward to being able to answer it for you in an upcoming video. So leave a comment with a question or what has worked really well for you as far as the best way to get traffic to your website. And until next time, my name is Matt Ack in the Matt Hat, delivering you your daily dose of Matt Hacks. I'll see you next time.